So Shannon Sharpe has been under fire. He's been accused of, sexual assault. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of, or give you a lot of information and show you a lot that you haven't been seeing. I don't know why people have been showing this girl that accused him, his accuser. I'm also going to show you Tony Busby, the lawyer that has been, who's on the case representing the young lady. I'm also going to show you some videos you probably haven't seen before, and play an audio, that was released by TMZ. But first, we're going to show this video of Monique. Monique did warn Shannon Sharpe about dating these young girls. Watch this.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I know. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon.
And now after all of that, here are these allegations about him sexually assaulting this young lady, she was 19 years old. He was dating her, sleeping with her since she was 19 years old. If you haven't heard about the story, let me just give you a really quick rundown. So Shannon Sharpe, who's a former football player, NFL, Hall of Famer, and became podcaster and media person. He's been doing pretty good in media. He's now on ESPN. He's been on ESPN, formerly Undisputed with Skip Bayless. If you know about Undisputed, this is actually a sports show. And now he's on ESPN First Take with, the legend of the game, Stephen A. Smith. Shannon Sharpe also started his own podcast called Club Shay Shay, which has been doing tremendously well in the media on YouTube. And then he started Nightcap, which he is hosting with co-host, of course, Chad Thomas, aka Chad Ocho Cinco. So Shannon Sharpe came under fire when he started messing with this Instagram model. She has an OnlyFans account. Of course, it seems like that's where they connected in OnlyFans. And when she was 19, I think she's 20 years old right now, going on 21 or something like that. But she accused him of sexual assault, and she's going after $50 million because he just had a deal on the table for $100 million, and her lawyer, Tony Busby, is trying to get $50 million of that $100 million, which is 50%. All right, so we're going to watch this video that was released by Shannon Sharpe.
To speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Well, that's the video that Shannon Sharpe released. Now, he did mention that Tony Busby also went after Jay-Z. If you remember that Jay-Z, case just a couple months ago, and Jay-Z was like, y'all ain't getting a red dime from me, not one dime from me. And of course, they dropped the case because, of course, there weren't enough evidence in that case, accusing Jay-Z of sexually assaulting a young lady when she was 13 years old. Now she's actually around 38 years old right now, or 39, somewhere around that. And so they dropped that case, and Jay-Z is now suing. He's counter-suing for defamation. Right, so he's suing Tony Busby. So Tony Busby needs some money right about now. All right, so he did mention that they were going after $50 million. I actually did mention that as well. But here's the thing about it. Shannon Sharpe actually offered a settlement of $10 million. And this is the number that's been going around. The lawyer said somewhere around $10 million. So we're going to listen into that right now. So you could get the receipts on here. So let's listen in.
Mr. Sharpe, I will only generally say to you that it was in the tens of millions of dollars demanded by the plaintiff in return for her silence. That's under any definition commonly understood. That is blackmail. And Mr. Sharpe was willing to pay an amount in the tens of millions of dollars, but no final agreement could be reached. And we thought we were still in the middle of discussions when, without warning, the mediator, who's a retired judge, ourselves as lawyers, without any prior warning, still thinking that we were close to a final agreement, the plaintiff and her lawyer from Houston filed a case in Texas publicly accusing my client of lies and willful, harmful lies by using the rape word when it was she knows, 100% knows, and the evidence will show that she knew that this was entirely consensual.
So, we all know it in these cases, it's usually consensual, but, we're in the money grab era right now. I remember when I was growing up, and I'm talking about back in the day, man, in the late 90s, early 2000s, I used to hear about a lot of, rappers getting accused of sexual assault and so forth. If you're from that era, you will know. But I was growing up around that time in the 99s, 2000s, and a lot of rappers, even back, if you want to really date back, even Tupac was accused as well. But that was a money-grabbing era back then, and now it's another money-grabbing era. They're now calling it the shakedown era, where they shaking pockets, y'all. They're tapping pockets and trying to get some money. But we're gonna actually listen to something here. Let me look at some of my notes. So there's another audio that I want you guys to listen to. This is Shannon Sharpe talking about, I'm gonna choke you and so forth. And it's one of those things where you gotta really think about what's going on here. All right. So I'm gonna let you listen in to this audio right about now as I could find it. Let me find it real quick.
No, anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
You could make whatever of what you want to make off that. Now, there was a text message that was released by Shannon Sharpe just to put the receipt out there, and he did. So the text message said, "I want you." This is from her, right? "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me," right? There's another text message that came from her that said, "I know you missed this big juicy," you know what that is, right? $25K for each cheek. Damn, $25K for each cheek. She also said, "You better crave it because you're gonna be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me." Now, they've been talking reckless. That's sex talk, though. At the end of the day, that's sex talk. If you like dirty stuff, dirty sex, this, that, dirty talking, hey, people do that all the time. And you know what? So I'm not going to really make much of it. This is just sex talk. If you're into that type of talking, dirty talking, dirty everything, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? There were conversations going on here. And as to the audio, now pertaining to the audio, I'm going to choke you. I don't feel like, it was a threat to really harm her. I feel like it was one of those kind of, sex talk. Hey, I'm going to choke you when I see you. I'm going to choke you, do whatever. and, choke you at the same time. For those who know, if you're into that type of stuff. Not everybody is. Now, as far as Tony Busby is concerned, if you don't know who Tony Busby is, people have been actually, hiding these people's photos. And look, I'm not hiding nothing. I'm going to put them out there. I'm going to put her Instagram profile out there. So if you want to go over there and take a look, you could go ahead and see who she is. I'm going to also put some photos up so you could see who this person is. Now, Tony Busby is actually known for going after reputable black men. One of the people, like I said, just to name a few, he now is Shannon Sharpe, of course. Before it was Jay-Z, it was Diddy. Yes, he was the person who represented, those people are Cassie in the Diddy case, and also Deshaun Jackson. Now, if you know Deshaun Jackson, he's a quarterback in the league, up and coming. He was supposed to be one of the great quarterbacks, and had some injuries and so forth. But Deshaun Jackson was accused by 26 women, and 25 out of those 26 women, got a settlement. Based on the reports that I've read. But Deshaun Jackson was one of them, and of course, Jay-Z and Diddy. So this lawyer, Tony Busby, his name is pretty known around the industry as well. So he's been dating back for going after people. I'm just naming a few, right? But the industry know who he is, and it seems like he's been getting away with a lot of cases, a lot of settlements, and created wealth from those settlements. All right, so here's what the girl looks like. Her name is Gabriela Zuniga, and they have a way of hiding the accusers' faces, right? They don't put them out on social media. Before, she was going by Jane Doe. They also did that to Jay-Z. We don't even know what that person looked like to this day. Even in an interview that she had with I don't know if it was NBC, but one of those big media channels. They had her interviewing her, and they pretty much blurred out her face. Because look, if you're going to put him all over social media, put her all over social media. I think it should be, across the board and not just one way. We're not going to hide somebody who's accusing somebody else, and you stay behind the curtains and nobody know who you are. Now, let's hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say, of course. He's his colleague at, ESPN First Take. So let's hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say about this.
What I said is all I can say. And in all honesty, at this moment, it is all I know. I have no idea what direction ESPN and Walt Disney will go in when it comes to this matter. All I do know is it won't be me making a decision. It'll be others upstairs. In the end, all of us have someone to answer to. No matter how maverick we try to be, and we own our own business, and we're our sole proprietors like I am on this platform and stuff like that. There are advertisers, there are sponsors, there are people you do business with, there are partners, and there are bosses.
That's true.
That's the situation, unfortunately, that Shannon Sharpe finds himself in at this particular moment in time. I sincerely wish him the best. I got love for him. And I hope all of this is just a sad ordeal that goes away because there was no truth to it. But I don't know. Neither do you or the rest of us. And only time will tell what the truth is.
Yep, that's Stephen A. Smith. Disney make the last decision, y'all. Disney's going to make the last decision whether Shannon Sharpe stays at ESPN or not. Unfortunately, this is a situation that he has to deal with right now. Like Biggie once said, more money, more problems. If you appreciate the content that I just dropped, hit that subscribe button. Join my community here on YouTube. I appreciate you as usual. God bless. Peace.